Welcome back to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about some of the efforts in the state legislature to restrict gun usage. My guest this segment is Leland Yee, member of the State Senate from San Francisco and San Mateo counties. Thanks very much.
Thank you for having me.
So after Newtown in Connecticut, there have been a raft of bills in the California legislature to do something about guns. California already has the toughest gun restrictions in the country, though.
Absolutely. We have a ban on the assault weapons. However, there's been a loophole that the gun manufacturers have been exploiting for years. And what my bill tries to do, we authored it last year, but we could not get it out of committee. And this year we're coming back. And in light of the Connecticut shooting, I believe that we have a chance now to close the loophole on our assault weapon ban.
Specifically, what's that loophole?
Well, what that loophole is that the assault weapon ban basically says that you cannot have a weapon where you can easily remove a cartridge and put a new one in. And so what the gun manufacturers did was to then find a way around that, making it a little bit more difficult. But when all is said and done, you can, in fact, easily remove that particular magazine. And so our bill would just simply close that loophole so that, you know, no modification of any sort will be able to be implemented in a particular assault weapon.
You know, there are a lot of folks who are wondering why even bother if there's not going to be a national effort that is successful, and we have a restrictive law in California, people can go to Nevada or Arizona or other states and get these weapons or these components and bring them into California. And so, like, what's the difference?
Well, I think you're partially correct. There's a lot of seepage. There's a lot of leakage. Adjoining states may not be as stringent as California, but I think for California, we do, in fact, are the bellwethers for so many issues. I think gun control is part of that. We've got to make a statement that our children are not to be going into a killing field when they go to school. Our college students are not to go to campus and get slaughtered by someone. And so we've got to, make a statement that these are important part of our community. No one is going to be killed and slaughtered like that. And so that's why we have this particular bill. Okay,
I want to pivot to one other issue, and that's legislation you're dealing with also. If you recall, back in November, right before the election, this $11 million of so-called dark money from donors we still don't know who was responsible, came into California to try to defeat Proposition 30 and to get Proposition 32 passed. Investigations are still underway to find out who's behind all of this, but I know you have some legislation to try to deal with this.
Well, you're absolutely right. In November, there was a secret nonprofit organization that poured in millions of dollars, 11 million to be exact, that basically tried to change a particular election. And when the FPPC asked, well, where is this money from? They said, we didn't need to tell you at all. It was only when the FPPC brought them to court that finally they divulged. But even then, there were just layers and layers of secrecy that we never were able to get to the final point as to where that money originally came from. So what my bill will say is that if you spend $100,000 or more in any particular campaign, doesn't matter if you are outside the state of California, you have to reveal. You have to tell us where is the primary source of that particular money. And that's really important if we're going to know who's trying to control our election, who's trying to influence our election.
All right. Well, that's certainly something we're going to watch in the months ahead. Senator Yee, thank you very much for coming by and talking about it.
Thank you for having me again.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can watch this and other interviews on YouTube and also on My Government On Demand.